Ice cream feels dense in the freezer, but surprisingly light once scooped. 2 pints of the same size can weigh very differently, and that matters.
A hidden ingredient in nearly all ice cream is simply air, added on purpose.
This is Grocery Science. Today, we look at what is really inside ice cream and frozen desserts. A carton labeled frozen dairy dessert is legally not the same product as ice cream. One carton is dense and creamy. The other is mostly whipped in air. By the end of this video, you will read that ice cream label very differently. Ice cream can absolutely be an occasional treat. Understanding the label helps you choose well. US regulations require products labeled ice cream to contain at least 10% milk fat. Ice cream must also weigh at least 4.5 pounds per gallon. That weight rule effectively caps how much air, or overrun, can be added. Products that do not meet these thresholds must be labeled frozen dairy dessert instead. Frozen dairy dessert formulations often use less milk fat and rely more heavily on stabilizers. Checking whether the front label says ice cream or frozen dessert reveals a real difference. The ice cream industry generally recognizes 4 quality tiers based on fat and air content. Economy ice cream can have over 90% overrun. Super premium can be under 30%. That means a super premium pint contains meaningfully more actual ice cream by weight. Higher overrun is not a safety issue. It mainly affects density, richness, and value. Comparing price per ounce, not price per container, reveals which pint is the better value. Overrun percentage is rarely printed directly on the label, making direct comparison difficult. Ice cream that melts slowly and evenly usually contains stabilizing gums. Guar gum and locust bean gum are common plant-derived stabilizers used in ice cream. Stabilizers slow ice crystal growth, keeping texture smooth through temperature changes in the freezer. Carrageenan, derived from seaweed, is another stabilizer historically used in some ice cream products. Some animal studies raised questions about carrageenan and digestive tract inflammation at high doses. Regulatory agencies, including the FDA, currently classify carrageenan as generally recognized as safe. Many brands have voluntarily phased out carrageenan in recent years amid consumer preference shifts. Checking the ingredient list directly remains the only way to confirm carrageenan is present. Mono and diglycerides act as emulsifiers, helping fat and water blend into a smooth mixture. Polysorbate 80 is another common emulsifier that helps control ice crystal size and texture. Some early animal research has explored polysorbate 80's effects on gut bacteria composition. This research remains preliminary, and results in animal models do not always apply to humans. Higher fat, lower overrun ice creams often need fewer stabilizers to achieve smooth texture. So next time, consider the fat content. Comparing ingredient list length across price tiers often reveals a genuine formulation difference. For most people, these stabilizers are functional additives, not a significant health concern at typical intake. Sugar in ice cream does more than sweeten. It also lowers the freezing point. A standard half-cup serving of ice cream typically contains 14 to 18 grams of sugar. Most people eat considerably more than the labeled half-cup serving size in one sitting. No sugar-added ice cream often uses sugar alcohols like erythritol or maltitol instead. Sugar alcohols are only partially absorbed, which is why they carry fewer calories per gram. Consuming large amounts of certain sugar alcohols can cause digestive discomfort in some people. The term net carbs is a marketing concept, not an officially defined FDA category. Total carbohydrate count on the official label can differ meaningfully from a marketed net carb number. Reading the full nutrition panel, not just the front claim, gives the complete picture. Reduced sugar ice cream can still be relatively high in calories and saturated fat. Comparing calories, not just sugar content, gives a more complete nutritional comparison across products. Some newer ice cream products add protein, using it as a primary marketing feature. Added protein can also affect texture, sometimes reducing the need for as many stabilizers. Comparing sugar, protein, and calories together offers a clearer picture than any single claim. Sugar content and true serving size remain the two numbers most worth checking first. Vanilla-flavored ice cream can use real vanilla, artificial vanilla, or a combination of both. We use a gas chromatograph to analyze the flavor components. These three label variations reflect real regulatory differences in how much natural vanilla is used. Vanillin, the primary vanilla flavor compound, can be extracted naturally or synthesized in a lab. Some brightly colored ice cream flavors include artificial colors to achieve a consistent appearance. Certain synthetic dyes have been studied for possible links to behavioral effects in some children. Regulatory conclusions on this topic vary somewhat by country, with reviews still ongoing. Some brands now use natural colorants like beet juice or turmeric instead of synthetic dyes. Candy and cookie mix-ins add substantial additional sugar beyond the base ice cream formula. A candy-loaded flavor can carry nearly double the sugar of a plain vanilla base. Checking mix-in content matters just as much as checking the base ice cream formula. A flavor name alone does not reliably indicate whether that flavor came from a natural source. Comparing several brands side by side often reveals surprisingly large sugar and fat differences. Understanding these patterns lets you choose ice cream intentionally, not just by flavor name. Ice cream generally works better as an occasional treat than a daily dessert habit. A smaller portion of a richer, denser ice cream can be more satisfying than a large, light one. Non-dairy frozen desserts use plant-based bases like coconut, oat, or almond milk. Non-dairy versions are not automatically lower in sugar, fat, or calories than dairy ice cream. Coconut-based non-dairy desserts can actually be higher in saturated fat than dairy versions. Frozen yogurt is not automatically lower in sugar than ice cream, despite its healthier reputation. Some frozen yogurt formulations contain more added sugar than a comparable ice cream serving. Live active culture claims relate to probiotic content, not directly to sugar or calorie content. Freezing temperatures can reduce probiotic culture viability somewhat over extended storage periods. Comparing protein content across these categories often favors traditional dairy-based options. Category name alone, whether dairy, non-dairy, or frozen yogurt, does not indicate overall healthiness. Comparing actual nutrition labels across categories leads to a more informed final choice. Check whether it is labeled ice cream, check sugar content, and check the true serving size. Choosing a denser pint, even at a higher price, can offer better value per ounce. Measuring an actual serving helps align intake with what the nutrition label describes. Pairing a smaller portion with fresh fruit adds volume and nutrients without much added sugar. Choosing a shorter ingredient list generally means fewer stabilizers and emulsifiers overall. Economy ice cream costs less per pint, but delivers less actual ice cream by weight. A few extra seconds reading the label can meaningfully change what ends up in the bowl. Knowledge about ingredients is not about fear. It is about informed, confident choices. We started this video with a simple scoop of ice cream. Behind every carton of ice cream is a formulation balancing air, fat, and sugar. The evidence shows overrun and sugar content are the two details most worth checking. That understanding gives you a real choice, rather than just a marketed one. At Grocery Science, we examine food through evidence, not to generate fear. Coming up, what is really inside chocolate bars, canned soup, and plant-based milk? Thank you for watching Grocery Science. Stay curious. Stay informed.